Hello YouTube, this is PensyFan17, and in this video we're going to be continuing our work on the Pennsylvania Railroad Hutchinson Industrial Branch. So let's jump into it. Alright, so since the last video I've done a decent amount of work on the route, and I'll give you a quick tour just to show you what I've done here. Added some more ground textures, added some pavement textures to this parking lot area here, added some more ballast, some gravel. Added in some more buildings, added onto this chemical factory over here. Put this building together right here. This is like a warehouse type thing. And it's interesting. This is made out of 3 different assets and 5 different buildings total. 2 buildings here, 2 buildings here, and this building here. And this loading dock, so that's actually 4 different assets. 6 assets in total. And when you're in trains, there's a limited amount of assets you can use, so you kind of have to mix and mash stuff together, do stuff like that in order to get the proper amount of variety, and just to make stuff that works what you're trying to do, so fits what you're trying to do. So that's that, and I think it looks really good. Added another building in the background, this big one here. And over here I added a scrapyard. This was on the original layout. I'm not sure if I mentioned this. This is a scrapyard. It doesn't receive many loads, but every once in a while you'll stick a gondola. I almost called it a granola. I don't know why. Stick a gondola right here to either load or unload scrap. And we'll work on this scrapyard. This is kind of in the beginning stages. I just have a bunch of assets picked out that I can throw together to make this look better. And then we need a kind of a headquarters building for this scrapyard. We'll use this asset. This asset, in my opinion, is too weathered and forlorn looking for the 50s, because in the 50s it was the kind of still generally the booming era of industry. So most buildings were kept up in better shape than this. But since this is a scrapyard, I don't think that the owner of the scrapyard really cares what his building looks like. So it works for a scrapyard, but I don't really want to use like this asset or this asset for much else really, other than background stuff. So there's that. What else? So I have a couple of things set up here we can work. Oh, team track. I want to talk about this team track real quick. Put this team track together. Loading dock. Various loads. This loading dock will be for loading and unloading general goods into boxcars, flat cars, reefers. And then over here I'm going to make like a general area for loading, unloading aggregates, covered hoppers, gondolas, stone, sand, coals, stuff like that. And we'll work on that. We'll kind of dirty this area up, and we'll put some piles of stuff here and some more trucks and people. I do want to add people, and I'm just having a hard time finding good people assets. I'll have to look maybe on the download station. Right here I picked out a texture for grass. This is kind of a base texture for the grass. Then I'm going to use some Turfex. We'll get into that here. We'll put that in a few areas here so it's not all pavement. I kind of want to break it up. Break the pavement up and put some grass and stuff in. We want to add weeds too in a lot of these places, but I don't know. I have to find some good weed assets. I could use the Turfex, but that's... I don't know. I haven't figured out how to do that yet, so we might wait and do that later. We'll probably wait and do that later. Telephone poles, we'll add those in. Roads, we'll add some of those in. I'm going to probably do a lot of handmade roads. This road over here is not going to be handmade. This is just going to be like an overpass that runs like back in here. On my original layout that this is based on, I had an overpass that acted as kind of a seam break between the layout in the front and the staging yard in the back. But in this, we're just going to make it just an overpass, just for something for the trains to run under. So let's go ahead and get into it here. We'll start over here and work on the scrapyard, I think. I'll get started with that. And I want to keep this video relatively short, so I want to keep moving. So this building, in my opinion, is too small. So I'm going to make this bigger. And in order to do that, we are going to take another one of the same thing, and we're going to smash them together and make one building. And you'll see me do this all the time. This is something that, if you're gonna get any variety in your routes, you got to do this all the time, or else you're just going to be looking at the same 10 buildings all the time. And there are more building assets I need to get, like more assets off the download station, but there's so much, and it's hard to sort through and find the good stuff, and you download something and it ends up being crap. It's just, I don't know. I'll get to it eventually, but I'm not terribly motivated to sit down and surf through the download station, so. Alright, get that positioned. We'll take this one here, we'll move it in, rotate it to match it, and then we'll smash them together. That might be good. Yep. Alright, now let's see. Right there. Looks good there, looks good on this side, probably, because it's lined up. Yep, nice. Normally when you match two buildings together like this, the intersecting skin faces will like flash because there's two skins there, so it's constantly alternating which skin is shown, so it's like flashing between the two skins. And in order to fix that, I normally lower one building a little tiny bit so the skins are not on the same plane, but these aren't doing that for some reason, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And you end up with this ridge in the center, which normally wouldn't look right, but since we're running trains here and not spending our time looking closely at the buildings, no one cares, so it's good. It's good enough. Ideally, I wouldn't have to do this kind of stuff, but in trains with the limited resources, you gotta make do, so that's the way it is. And it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to mash buildings together. It gives you some options. You can do kind of what you want and make stuff work. Alright, so we're gonna kind of match this fence up here to this building. So let's go. We're in spline mode. We'll just add another spline point to the fence. I also want to add a gate. So we're going to go ahead and delete this part of the fence right here. Hello? Hello? Uh-oh. We want to delete. There we go. I hit the wrong button. Alright, let's see. That fence is good where it is. Let's go ahead and add the gate. The gate's over here. We're going to get object. We'll rotate it. That looks good. And we'll go ahead and move the fence in. And that all lines up pretty good. Alright, good. I'm gonna mess with this fence over here too. This is not right. I see what's going on here. Oh, I think I just... I'm gonna hold shift, I guess. Yeah, these are two different splines. I was hitting shift, I didn't want them to connect. Come on. Why are they connecting? I'm hitting shift. Spline points aren't supposed to connect when you hold down shift. That's annoying me now. It's control shift? It's shift. I mean, I don't... Not remembering it wrong. Huh? It worked that time. I was holding Control Shift. Maybe it's different when you're in spline mode compared to track mode. I don't know. Anyway, it works, so cool. Alright, so there's that. We kind of have that set up nicely. And we'll have to go in here and mess with the scrap, mess with the ground textures, stuff like that. We'll do that a little later. Right now I want to focus, I want to move on. Let's go ahead and work on some of this grass and Turfex. So we'll go into texture mode, and we'll find this texture right here. Scale. Not sure how big of a scale I want this. Not too big. And we want a pretty small radius. And we'll go in here and we'll add some of this. And I think it's going to be pretty blocky again because of the way these PBR textures are. It just annoys me to no end, but that's the way they are. Yeah, see, it's not filling in like you would normally paint something. It's filling in blocks. And look at that. Oh man, it looks awful. That's not good. Sometimes if you have the radius small, it kind of messes with that a little bit. I'm going to try a bigger radius. And see, I don't know. This might not work. That stinks. That's bad. See, it's just filling it in blocks, and it's interfering with the track here. So let me see if I can get this texture and fill it in. Yeah, see, when you do that, it just erases it. That's really annoying. Okay. That really annoys me. Not really sure what you can do about that. Maybe if I turn the scale down? Maybe? Let's see if that helps. No, nope, doesn't do a thing. That's really annoying. Alright. Now what? Well, we can try a regular texture. It's just, I don't know, it might mess up the gravel. I might do this off camera now. I can put down the Turfex, so let's go ahead and do that. And the Turfex might actually be thick enough that we don't need a ground texture underneath it. I don't know, we'll see. But we'll go ahead and put that down because it's going to be going down anyway. So we'll go in here, go into Turfex. Yeah. Let me go back in there again. All this stuff here, I really don't understand yet. I've just kind of entered random values and I found something I liked and I went with it. I'm going to figure out how to use this, and when I do, I'm probably going to make a tutorial video. And you can watch a tutorial here, but I'm sure it's boring, so I'm going to make one that's interesting. Alright. Okay, and then we'll go in here and go to Turfex. There we go. And then you use this tool to add the grass. Makes absolutely no sense to me, but that's the way it is. I think it should be in the texture panel, paint panel, but for some reason it's in the topography panel. Makes no sense. I mean, I maybe could understand that the grass is kind of adding topography, but that really doesn't make any sense at all. Alright, so we add a little bit there. Let's add a little more over here. And as you see, when you get close to it, it fills it in pretty good. But farther away, I think it's my graphics settings. If I made my graphics a little more intense with the Turfex type stuff, it'd probably look better. Farther away, it doesn't look very good far away right now. And you can see the gravel through it. So I'm going to probably have to put down some sort of texture under there. I'll have to find one. So it seems like if you hold the painter tool or the topography tool or whatever it is over the grass, it adds the grass in thicker. You see it keeps adding grass and making it thicker. That looks pretty good. And when you're trackside, I mean, look at that. That's nice. It looks really good. Now when you lift up, for some reason, the way my graphic settings are, it like totally disappears, or it gets weird like that. So I probably have to adjust my graphics settings to get that to work better. That's the beauty of trains. You can never run trains at full graphics settings. You always gotta toy around and figure out what stuff you like and what stuff you don't care about. And that looks awful like that. That's just the way it is. I want to make sure this grass didn't go too far into this concrete texture I have here. No, it didn't. That's good. That's about where I want it. Alright, good. So I'll have to find a texture that I can use as kind of a grass texture there. And that's kind of the way you got to do Turfx, I guess, to a degree, because it doesn't look right from longer distances. So you want to have a base texture there to kind of take its place, so to speak. When you back out, you still see grass there, but you don't really care about the detail. Whereas when you're in like this, you do care about the detail, and that's when you see the Turfx. So you got to do that kind of stuff. And it really annoys me the way these PBR textures are, but that's the way they are, so I'm going to deal with it. Alright, so let's go over... what do I want to do next? Worked on the scrapyard a little bit. I want to keep this video short, so we're going to keep moving here. Let's work on this bridge, see if we can get this bridge to work. So I need to figure out the clearance I need for this. And I could search it on the internet, and I already did that, and it didn't really get me anything. So I'm just going to kind of wing this using some cars here. So let's go ahead and find a relatively tall engine. This is probably going to be the tallest engine we're going to have on this route. Alright, let's move on to the bridge. And you see, he already fits. I do want to add a little more clearance, so that's really tight. So we're going to go into spline mode, because this is a spline. Advanced, we're going to go to spline height, and we're going to adjust the spline height. I do want to add a little bit of elevation change onto this overpass, but not right here. As you see, I think it's already slanted down a little bit, which that might actually be a good effect. You want to vary your gradients in trains, because if you don't do that kind of stuff, everything tends to look flat after a while. And this is going to be flat because it's industrial stuff for the most part. Look, the track's going to be pretty flat. There's a kink in the track right there. I just saw. It's annoying me. I'll have to fix it off camera. Oh, nice. Smoke coming through the bridge. That's realistic. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh, about varying grades. Yeah, you want to vary the grades to kind of make it look like it's not so flat. So if I can't. It's hard to tell. I think it is a little crooked, and that's good. And I want to have it kind of the road. I want to kind of have come down a little bit in the back here. So good. All right, now we get into the ticklish stuff. First, let's delete this engine because it's annoying me. There's smoke coming through the bridge. That's not realistic. Nothing I can really do about that, but I've heard there's like a smoke deflector asset. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe that's just wishful thinking there's one, because there should be like some sort of smoke deflector asset. I don't know how you would make that work, but like a plane you put up that the smoke hits it and then kind of bounces off. I don't know how you would get that to work, but alright, so now let's get into the stuff that's going to be tricky here. Let's do some topology here. I'm not sure how to go about this. Do I put the road down first? Do I do the ground first? I'm probably going to run into problems enough to do this off camera, but we'll give it a shot here. We'll give it a shot. We'll see if we can pull this off. So I'm going to bring this up. It might be best, you know what, I'm going to try this. There should be, I know there's a way that you should be able to put the road where you want it and then bring the ground texture up to the road or whatever spline you're using. So let's do that first. If we can't get that to work, I'll just figure it out off camera. So let's go ahead and grab this. Nice. It snapped right in. And then we'll do this. And I think, yeah, it's coming down like that, so we'll raise it up. And like I said, we want to vary the grade, so I might have a little bit of grade added a little bit, just a little bit, just to make it look. Let's see, that's pretty much flat. We want just a little bit of grade. There, that might do the trick. Yeah, that does the trick. It's about where we want it. And I got another baseboard here, and we'll continue this off into the scene here, so, you know, the world doesn't end right here. And this track's gonna come around and go back into like a city seed and a yard back there. I'm gonna add to this route. We'll do that later. Might do some of that off camera, some of the basic stuff of that off camera. Like I said before, or maybe I didn't say this before, I don't know. I've taken multiple takes of this video, so I'm not sure what stuff I've actually said and what stuff I haven't, but I'm not going to, obviously, I'm not going to be filming every single thing I do in this route, obviously. I mean, you see I did a lot of work off camera. I'm doing this for fun, and if I don't feel like recording what I'm doing, then I'm not going to record it. And if that annoys you, deal with it. I'm here to enjoy myself, so if recording isn't enjoyable, and a lot of times it isn't enjoyable, a lot of times it's stressful, I'm just not going to record. I'm just going to do the work and talk about it on my next recording. So, I mean, there'll be plenty of stuff you can see. You don't need to see everything. So that said, let's go in here and finish this road. Let's move some of these things out of the way. Get out of here. Some of this stuff. Why did it? Oh, draw distance. Alright, and then let's go in here to spline mode, get this road again. Hello. And we'll add it. And we'll run it off there. For some reason, when you turn the splines, it like gets this back curve. It's weird, so we don't really know what you can do about that. You need to like rotate the spline point, but I don't think you can rotate spline point. So if you add another spline point in like right there, and then move it, it kind of takes care of it. A little bit. Kind of? Not really? It's not really working. Alright. That's weird. What you need to be able to do is rotate. Oh, I know what to do. Let's add another baseboard just for now. I'm probably going to delete it, but let's go ahead and add another baseboard. And then we'll go in here and add another section of this road. I already misselected. And use that to straighten it out. Still not really straightening it out. That's weird. And I can use the straight tool there. That straightens it out nicely. And we'll just leave that like that. I'm going to need that baseboard there anyway, so we'll just leave it there. While I'm at it, let's go ahead and add another baseboard over here. And there. And we're going to need one over here. Ooh, baseboards. We can add them everywhere. We can make the world as big as we want. Ha, 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 ha. Okay. Nice. Alright. Now that we're done with that. Funny, I put those baseboards in and now I'm experiencing a little bit of lag. Just a little bit. Maybe it's just my imagination. Anyway. Alright. So we added this road and I want to raise it up a little bit so it's a little bit off the ground, but like I said, I want to get that grade effect in there. So we're just going to raise it up a little bit. So let's go back into here. Raise the spline just a little bit. Like that, and then we'll raise this kind of to match it. Good. Nice. I like it. Now we need to get the terrain to match the road. This could be an absolute pain in the neck. I should do more research before I try this, but let me see if I can do it here. I'll give it a shot. I really don't know. Really don't know how to do this. Sheesh. Maybe it's in spline mode. Maybe there's a way you can get the ground to come up to where spline is. I know there's something you can do to do that, and I don't know what it is. I don't know. So we are going to deal with that off camera. Because I just don't know. But we got the road in there. That's a start. And since this is a 1950s ride, it's a little bit of a conundrum. What roads do I use? And if you guys have any ideas, let me know. Like what's actually realistic for roads in the year 1952. I did a little bit of research. From what I could tell, they used asphalt. They used roads like this, so this is totally fine. They used a lot more concrete, though, from what I could tell. So I'm trying to incorporate more concrete roads. Like this. This is a concrete texture here. This is a road. And that's the next thing we're going to work on. We're going to work on this road right here. We're going to add in some line markings. So let's go ahead and do that. Nice segue there. I didn't even really mean to do that, but there we go. Alright, and look at this. Look at all these road marking. There's single, double, lots of different things you can do. Different widths. Not sure what the difference is between these two. Oh, that's thinner. We're going to go with this thicker one, I think. And this is just to kind of get a basic boundary for this road. I'm going to have to kind of break it here because of this gate. You know what, I tell you what, I'm not going to put one on this side. It's not necessary. I'm just going to put it on this side. So let's totally delete this. And we'll add it in over here. That's the thinner one. I don't want the thinner one. I want the thicker one. Let's curve it a little bit so it's not straight. You want to try to avoid straight stuff as much as possible in trains. Stuff in real life is not straight, okay? But in trains, it's real easy to fall into the trap of making everything straight. So we just want a little bit of curve in there just to make it not straight. Straight is your enemy when you're in trains. Straight and flat. Those are your two big enemies in trains. You want to try to avoid those monsters as much as possible. Alright, so that looks good. That just adds a little bit of boundary there. These trucks can kind of roam freely anywhere in between that and the fence as they go in. And I want to put a road in right through here. It's going to go through here, it's going to cross here, it's going to run in front of this, and it's going to... Oh, I don't know. Should I make it go under this highway? Should I try to make it merge with the highway? Gasp. That's a lot of work. I think I'm just going to have it run off like this and go parallel to the highway. And you don't really need to see what happens to it. It's going to just go off the scene. Hide it behind some buildings. There you go. Pardon me there. Just hiccuped. Alright. So that said, we're going to get into that. Let's delete this texture. Let's get rid of it. I can't stand the sight of its face. Can I do that? Can I delete a texture? Fill grid? Oh no. What have I done? I did a bulk replace by accident. Tell you what. What's the diff? That's old grid from who knows when. I think this is the grid I want. Yeah, nice. Look at that. Cool. Alright. Move these buildings out of the way. I don't know why these buildings are here. I probably never even use them. I probably should just delete them. These are kind of crappy buildings. Compared to the standards of TRS 2019, they're kind of crappy. Let's get all these assets out of the way. These telephone poles, we're going to put... You know what? Let's go ahead and move these. I already got a spline going. I might as well put them somewhere. We're going to put them along here. Telephone poles. There are telephone poles everywhere, and that's something that you can easily overlook. There's a lot of little small things that you can add to your route and really fill your route in and kind of get rid of all that empty space. Telephone poles is one of those things. They're kind of small and overlooked, but they make a big difference. So we're going to go ahead and take these particular poles, and we're going to make some poles going along this road in here. The way these splines are is a little weird. So I'm probably going to do this thing where I like make a spline point at every single pole so I get a little better control. You know what? I'm not exactly sure how I want to go about doing this. Because I know in my original layout, this building was, since it was a smaller scale, obviously, it wasn't real life, everything was tighter. This building was actually in more closer to the road here, so I just ran the poles along the side of this building, but the way it is now, I'm going to be running the poles right through the middle of the lot here. I don't want to do that, so I might have to put the poles somewhere else. I think I'm going to run the poles in here. But I do want to run some poles in from this road, so we're going to into this building here, so we're going to do that. We're going to like... I could like run poles here and then have it go across there. That might be a good way to do it. Let's go all the way over here, grab this guy, put him right there for now. I don't know, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem like something you'd see in real life. I don't know, we'll leave it for the moment. Gotta watch too that these wires aren't above clearance for the tracks, and I don't think they are when I look at it. Let's see, let's put in a train. Let's add this. Better make smaller sense of what happens. Oh, they might be good. Yeah, they're good. They're good. There's clearance there. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna leave it like that for now. I don't really like the way that looks, so I'm probably gonna fix that off camera. But it looks good for now. All right, let's go back here and move these into proper positioning. So right here, and then we'll put one across the tracks right there. Oops. There's tricks you can play with this. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to add another spline point if I can. No. It's weird because it's a telephone pole. I don't really know where the spline runs. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and... Oh, brother, this is getting complicated. Since it's a telephone pole, it's... Alright, now we found it. See that connected right away. And then we'll just run it right across there. Alright, so not sure if I like the way that's coming out, but that's the way it'll be for now. Might do something like this. Might move it back there a little bit. And then this right here probably could go. Whoops, moving the fence. Wrong one. There we go. Alright, and like I said, I'll probably have to put it inside the fence. That might be good. I'm probably going to have to adjust that off camera, but for now it's good. Alright, so we could go over here and add some. There's going to be a road coming in here. I want to work on the road itself a little bit more, figure out where the traffic flow is going to go, so we'll do that a little later. Let's work on hand making this road. Alright, so I think I want to make this a concrete road like this here. So we're going to use this same texture, and like I said, it's how do I say this, chunky? It's laid down in like a grid, so it does not look right. We'll just have to make the best of it. Yeah, that looks awful. So we'll just have to make the best of it. There's tricks you can do to kind of make that awful diagonal stuff look a little better. Might be a little too thick for a road. We'll add the markings in. We'll add some brush and stuff along the side. Really, that's pretty bad. That's kind of the general. That's too sharp of a turn there, obviously. We'll put down the markings, and then we'll figure out the texture, the rest of the texture. Alright, so first what we want to do is we want to go into Tools. We want to get ourselves a ruler. I'm going to start on this side of the track because this is going to be a whole shenanigan in itself, getting the track matched up with the road and everything. We'll do that later. Add ruler. And this is going to be probably about a 20-foot road, I'm thinking. We'll see. We'll put down the ruler and then we'll add. Why is it in oh, I saw degrees there. It's like, what is that? 50 feet? Yikes. I really only want this about 25 feet at the widest. So this, yeah, that texture's way too wide. Even this is probably way too wide. Let's get some of these trailers and test this out. Something doesn't seem right with this. So apparently, at 24 feet, you should be able to fit 2 of these trailers side by side with plenty of room. I'm a little skeptical. Unless these trailers are not to scale. Which can really tick me off because these are nice trailer models. Alright, so there's 2 trailers side by side. And supposedly, imagining that this was a white line, this is a white line, this is a yellow line, that just seems way too close. I'm not sure if that would be real in real life or not. I don't know, that just doesn't seem right to me. I'm going to make it a little wider. So let's go back into the ruler mode here. Move ruler. Pardon me. I'm going to go ahead and make this 28 feet. Alright. Let's add another one over here. That'll give us a start. We can probably eyeball it from there, I'm thinking. Might add a few more, we'll see. I'm thinking I want to use the narrower one for this. Is there a way to like drop a spline point and then keep moving? There's gotta be. There's probably a button you press for that. Maybe it's control? Yes, it's control. Look at that. Learn something new every day. And then we want to straighten this right here. We want to add onto this. Why is it doing all these goofy things? Why is the roller floating? I don't like that. Let's try this. Let's add some spline points in here. Delete this center one. Let's straighten all this. And we'll move this spline point a little bit so that it gets... that's a little better. Starting to get there. But as you see, for some reason, since these rollers float, you gotta look at it straight on in order to get the correct... That's just weird. Alright. There's that. Now we'll go over here and add the same thing over here. Nope, forgot to hit control. This is a technique that I learned from Approach Medium. He does this a lot now, and I think it looks really good. The only problem is you got to deal with these textures, and as you see, you get some of these goofy diagonals and stuff. You got to kind of find ways to disguise that. Straighten these out. Then we want to add some more spline points here to fix all this mess. Put one there, or put one there. We'll delete this spline point here. Uh-oh. I clicked the wrong button. We want delete spline point, not delete spline. Alright. going to want to go in here and move this roller over so we can get these parallel. I can finish my thought. Leave you guys hanging. I'm in building mode right now. Do not disturb. High concentration here. There we go. Alright, let's try to get these spline points to match. And do the straighten spline trick. I think that'll do it. How does that look? That looks pretty good. I like it. Just need a little bit of a variation, but it's not that noticeable. Alright, good. Now you get these white lines on this concrete, it doesn't quite look right, so I might swap the texture out. But these splines will stay in place, so I can fool around with the texture as much as I want. The splines will still be there. So, and look at those. Those look nice. I like those. Very nice. Alright, so now we just need a center line. This is where I'm not sure. In the 50s, did they have center lines? I don't know. We're going to put one in. I'll have to do a little more research. Figure they did. And since there's roads going off, I'm going to have to cut and paste some stuff. But for now, I'm just going to do this. And I can cut and paste later. Alright, I'm going to just rough this out. We're going to put it right in the center, as far as I can tell. Oh, it's snapped to the spline. I gotta hit shift. Don't forgot to hit control. If you keep the spline point outside of the spline circles there, it won't snap. Got an extra spline from that over there for some reason. Not remove an end vertex. Yes, I can if I want to. I just don't do. Take that. Look at that. That looks pretty good. Pretty good. This straight. I'm gonna get that straight. Did that straighten out? It was looking good there, and then I hit the straighten out button, and it kind of messed it up a little bit. Something's not right with this spline here. It should. Oh, I don't know if I ever straightened this right here. There we go. That might fix it. There we go. That looks better. That looks pretty good. And we can add traffic to these, and I will eventually. Alright, I'm going to delete these rulers because they're just in my way now. Thank you. Goodbye. Wait, did I? Yeah, I deleted one there. I didn't want to delete. There we go. Now, as you see, this road, I mean, you can see the lines, but it does not look like a road because the texture is a mess underneath it, so we're going to have to do something about that. From what I'm thinking, probably not going to be able to use these concrete PBR textures. They're just too chunky. So we're going to get rid of them if I can do that. Why won't it? There we go. Really annoys me. I mean, these PBR textures are almost useless because of the way they're so square and chunky. Alright, let's see if we can find a good concrete texture. Concrete. TS12. We can avoid TS12 all we want. Here's PBR. This is probably what we were just using. Too chunky. Another PBR. What in tarnation is that? Looks like the PBR is the only stuff we really have. Okay. I could try to use the PBR, I just feel like that's going to be a real pain in the neck. Try to bring the radius down a little bit, see if I can do. It doesn't even fill in right until you get on the fringes like that. It's just a mess. You can still see the grid. You have to fill it in all the way out there in order to not see the grid. That's bad. And then what? How do I disguise that? Can I take another texture and just a regular texture and fill it in and disguise it? Let me get one of these asphalt textures I was using and see if I can do that. Asphalt. I can't spell. Asphalt. P-H-A-L-T. Again, that's chunky, but that's a PBR texture. Let me skip the other. There we go. This is what I was using before. So you can disguise it a little bit. That's chunky. Are all these textures like that? Is that seriously the way it's going to be? That's going to drive me nuts to no end. Look at that, yeah. They're following a grid. That's not right. Well, I'll have to deal with that. I'm not sure what to do about that. Texture direction. I wonder if that would like change the way the grid is, maybe? So this isn't filling in like a grid now. I think the reason it was filling in like a grid was because there was a PBR texture there. So if I use this instead of the PBR texture, now it's not filling in like a grid, now it's filling in the way it's supposed to. The problem is, since this is not a PBR texture, it's not interacting with the PBR texture correctly, and as you see, we're getting all this change of elevation crap. Yeah, so, alright, I'll deal with that off camera. But anyway, you get the idea of how to make these handmade roads, and you can already tell there's some degree of challenge involved. Come on. Alright, so what else did I want to do in this video? We messed with some roads a little bit. We put down some telephone poles. We fixed the scrapyard a little bit. We did this road over here. We put down some Turfex. Let's do a little detailing around this warehouse here. Oh, and I know what we can do. We can do this like aggregate dump off area. That kind of excites me to do that. All right, let's go in here. Find some of these trailers. They're kind of. Is this a grass one? Yeah, it is. So these are like, I don't even know if these are American trailers. They look American. I figure even if they're not American, they still can be stuff that American truckers use. But they're called G. Noxipa Fruhof. German? They look good. They're a little beat up. A little too rusty and worn out for my liking, but they're what I got right now. Hopefully I can find someone else. See, this one's pretty cool. There's only a couple, too. There's only a couple different skins. 3 different skins. 2 different levels of leather. So I'll have to find some more trailers like that, but that's a good start. So we'll go ahead and put these up against this unloading dock here. We'll spin all these, every single one. Good. This one. Wrong way. Oh man, this rotate tool is so annoying. Come on. Good. I am working with limited assets here, so that I will get more assets as I go along, but this is what I'm working with right now. Like I said, I need to find stuff on the download station that's good and download it, but that's just a pain in the neck. There's so much crap on the download station. You gotta sort through everything, find the good stuff, and you gotta wait for it to download. By the time you get a good collection of content, you spent years downloading stuff at the download stations. It's just the way it is, but I'm not too motivated to do that as again, why won't this rotate? Oh, this is annoying me. I don't have patience for this kind of stuff. Good enough. Like I said, straight lines are your enemy in trains. Flat stuff is your enemy in trains. And stuff that is perfectly parallel to everything else is also your enemy in trains. You want just a little bit of variation, but with the way that the rotate tool is obviously messed up, it's very easy to get too much rotation and everything is just obviously crooked and not realistic in that respect. So you want to get just a little bit of rotation but not too much. So as you see, like these 2 trailers are not parallel. So they don't look parallel, but yet they're not obviously not parallel. I think that's a good effect. Come on. This building is not straight either, so that kind of plays into it as well. That looks good. Alright, let's take this one last one here. And then I have this box, like, not box truck, it's a flatbed, box flatbed, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to put a few of those down, just like one or two. And then we'll put some trucks connected to these trailers, a few of them, and some other stuff strewn about. This is the fun part of trains. This is where you get to have fun, like, maybe super detailing might be the right word, I don't know at this point. But just really making a scene look realistic, come alive, kind of thing. I need to put some goods on some crates of stuff on this loading dock. I need to put people on this loading dock if I can find some good people. I want to find animated people. I don't want people standing around. Alright. I'm going to put like 2 of these right here. Kind of suggests the idea that the trailers stay over here and these guys come over here. I don't know why, but I'll do that. It's a pretty... I don't know, I don't really like this model. Like the front doesn't look right. It looks goofy. But it's good enough now. Look at that. It's almost perfectly level. Look at that. Just run anything on there right off. Now, add another one, and I have a cool idea for this one I'm going to do. See, this one is sunk into the ground a little bit, and I think it's because 2 different textures here. This texture is higher up than this texture, so this is sunk into the ground a little bit. So we'll just move it up a little bit. Not that much. 1, 2, hit. Shift, control, shift. Bring it up a little bit. That's pretty good. Make sure the tires are on the ground. That's good. For some reason that's lower than that one. That's weird. I'm seeing things off to the side here, getting distracted. Okay. Is this what I'm... Yeah, this is what I'm using. It's a semi right there. Okay. So here's my idea. I'm going to see if I can do this. Crates. There we go. This will work. This will be cool. So I want to put some crates on this truck. That is going to work really well. I'm going to rotate the truck. I'm going to rotate the crates. Will it let me? It's not going to let me now that I put the crates right there. Let's rotate the crates first. Now, as you see, I have auto rotate on, which is good for most things like trees and stuff. For this kind of stuff, it can be a little annoying. But with the way most of the stuff goes down anyway, I'm going to have to rotate it anyway. So let's get one more. Here, these trucks have sound to them, which I think is cool. No, did not want to raise that. I want to raise crates. There we go. There we go. I'm going to raise achieves the effect. Again, variety. There's an empty truck and a loaded truck. You get variety, and that's what you want. Speaking of variety, let's add some rigs onto these trailers. I got 2 different rigs here. I got this guy here, and I got this guy here. This guy I don't like as much, but we'll use him, like I said, for variety. Let's put him on a trailer right in here. Let's put him on this one. Let's see if we can get the pitches in there. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, so where's the pitch on this? Oh, man. That's good. Alright, there's that one. I'm going to take this guy. Throw in this one right here. Alright, now I'll add one more of those guys to this truck here. Good. Alright. Well, this has been going. Oh my goodness, an hour. Did not mean for this to be that long, but we are getting some stuff done, so there you go. I could keep going, but since it's already been an hour, I don't really want to. Not sure. Let's move it a little bit. Let's try to get these trucks lined up. You gotta look at them from all angles. Alright. So this one's sunk to the ground a little bit. Raise it. I'll do that off camera. Okay, so I was going to work on this aggregate unloading area, but I might do that later. I might do that in another video. I might do it off camera. We'll see what happens, but I need to wrap this one up. So, as you see, we're really moving along on this route, getting some stuff done. It's starting to come together. I really like the way it's starting to look. And I need to get some more assets off the download station. I'll have to mess around with that, as reluctant as I am to do so. Need to figure out these roads. These roads could really turn to be a pain in the neck. I might just go ahead and use some road splines for that for now. We'll see. But yeah, really come together good. I like it. I like the way it's coming. Really starting to look good. Really starting to get that good industrial 50s feel. Alright, so with that, that's it. We'll wrap it up here. Probably do another video. The next video I'm probably going to do is probably going to be this again. Another episode of this. That'll probably be sometime, I don't know, maybe later this week, maybe next weekend. We'll see when that happens. So for now, check out my other videos. Keep an eye out for my next one. Like and subscribe. Adios.